Hello, family, peace and love. I hope you are healthy, happy, and in good spirits. Welcome to Clara's Revival. I am Latasha, your one and only, your favorite self-revival and master spirit coach. So today is the 57th year since my great-grandmother Clara transitioned. If you don't know, here we are dedicated to helping women revive the spirit after enduring any type of domestic abuse, whether it was violent, emotional abuse, financial abuse. Abuse is abuse, and a lot of times there are these comparisons, and a lot of people don't realize that you can be abused without any physical violence. Abuse is abuse. So my channel is about recognizing the signs of abuse, knowing what abuse looks like, ending the cycle of abuse, and reviving your spirit after enduring such traumatic effects, along with sex trauma, because with abuse, a lot of sex trauma is involved that we tend to brush under the rug, or just don't know the seriousness of what happened to us. So that is something that I seek to uncover on my channel. Clara was brutally murdered. She was shot in the back of the head by her lover. Every woman on my mother's side has endured abuse on some level, and I am a survivor. And the way that I feel about it is I am lucky enough to be here to talk about it and to do something about it. My great-grandma Clara wasn't so lucky. My relationship began with Clara when I started to see her. I started to see her in dreams when I was about 14 or 15 years old. These years for me were during the beginning of my high school years, some of the most traumatic years of my life, and I endured a lot during those years. So she would show herself to me in dreams. We would have meetings, and she would sit at the foot of my bed. I would just always see her. And as a person who is very close to my maternal grandmother, my maternal side of the family, I've always spent time with elders. I've always spent time with my grandmother, talking about her experience, her memories of her mother. And her death is something that brings her great sadness, and I can't help but to feel it. So as I intentionally always like to uplift her memory, sit and communicate with her, and realize how lucky I am to have had those experiences, even though I didn't meet her, to know so much about her, to connect with her, so much so that Clara's Revival has been in the making since I have been born. And over the years, as my grandmother communicated with me, I didn't always know what my journey, what my purpose was, what the reason for all the abuse was. I always didn't connect the dots, although I sort of always felt connected to my grandmother. Before realizing that I have a responsibility to carry for my family, for my lineage, for the revival of my great-grandmother's spirit, for me being to progress and change the future of those after me, I always felt connected and protected by Clara. After sort of feeling those feelings of protection, knowing that she was there, always feeling that never went away. But as our relationship deepened, as I started to go through my own abuse, make sense of what I was going through, lose everything, regain, just try to keep myself on track of just fighting multiple battles, one after the other, our relationship started to change in the sense that it was almost like our lives were very parallel. There were times where I would go, maybe a couple of years, some months or so without seeing her. I would get so used to just seeing her in dreams, feeling her presence, and that was always something of great comfort. So in times where I didn't see her, I would always sort of feel alarmed, to feel a little bit alone. But as I started to figure out our journey together, figure out our purpose together, figure out what we're supposed to do together, I started to sense that she wasn't at peace the same way that I wasn't at peace. Almost looking down at me saying, you can change this. You can stop this. You're aware of what's going on. You rebuild yourself. No matter what you've gone through, you picked yourself back up over and over again. I trust you. I trust you to help avenge me, to help release our family of this stronghold, of this generational curse, these passed down mindsets, these negative circumstances that lie deep within our cell memory and DNA. So as I'm starting to feel that she's working on the other side, she's working for God. That's why she's not contacting me so often, because she's on her own journey. As I realize she's on her journey, I'm on mine. And I would start to have visions of seeing what happened the night that she was taken. I would see visions of her fractured skull in the grave. I would see the dress that she was buried in. I would have these feelings of terror and doom and being fearful, being angry, being confused, and seeing her face and seeing glimpses of what she went through. This is when I started to realize that her soul was not at rest, and that I had an important part in helping to make sure that she rests in peace and power. And that was such a awesome revelation, but such a huge responsibility, and not easy to accept and not easy to walk. So the more that I would see and sense that her spirit wasn't at rest, I would always go back to family, talking to the elders and getting stories, getting information, start looking up information on my family tree, and really just digging into who she is and learning how to call and communicate with her. Now our relationship has deepened so much so that our communication has gone from dreams to meeting in other realms, to her showing me glimpses of the future, to me actually channeling her. And when I channel her, it feels as if she is entering my spirit, and it feels comfortable, and it feels like she belongs. And when she does this, it's like we communicate telepathically. And when she's done saying what she has to say, I feel the detachment. And her mother, my great-great-grandmother Brown, she communicates with me the same. She is more quiet. She is more on a different assignment, but every once in a while, she's always there. Let me know I'm here. I see you. And she sort of watches over us all. So today, I'm just chilling out at the park, trying to release a little bit, feeling a bit emotional, especially after watching Sinners. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm up watching Sinners at 3:30 a.m., making all the connections between what I feel with my family and just all the different messages of that movie. I may actually make a separate video about that movie. That was a phenomenal movie. I really I enjoyed it. There were some things that I didn't like about it, but overall, if it has anything to do with spirits, the metaphysical world, vampires, shapeshifters, all that, you got me. I love that type of stuff. So it was actually very healing for me to watch that as I'm feeling all the emotions and trauma being lifted from my lineage. Is such a exhilarating feeling, but it also just leads you into deeper thought. And I'm just so grateful and thankful to be here and to have the perspective that I have. I just felt the need to come on and release. I know I'm sort of talking a little quiet. I'm in a public park. There's a lot going on, and just trying to be respectful of everyone. And I'm still, as an introvert, getting used to doing what I got to do in public as well. So thank you for listening, fam. Let me vent and spend part of this emotional day with you. I will check in with you soon. For one-on-one coaching, you can book online, www.clarasrevival.com. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me, mycoach@clarasrevival.com. If you would love to leave a gift or a donation, you can do so via Cash App, #LoveClara360. I'll talk to you soon, you all. I love you. Please take care.